got to make a reservation. It's very difficult to get in.
Well, it's okay. I'll use the service entrance. I'll see you at 9.
Welcome!
And bienvenidos
To another episode of Service Entrance People. I am Boomer.
And I'm Pixie. Hola.
Hola, Pixie! For those of you new to the show, just jumping in, this podcast is for and about the gritty, underpaid, underprivileged service industry workers of the world.
Unite!
We have clearly made wrong turns in our lives because no matter what, we've ended up here in jobs where no matter our talent, our art, our skills, we end up dealing with the infamous Karens and Florida Man.
Florida Man.
And Mr. and Mrs. Von Uppity on a daily basis. Day in and day out, we walk through the parking lot of broken dreams and enter through that specially marked door. You know the one!
The service entrance door.
Yep. If you are interested in listening and sharing in war stories of the industry, or if you're curious as to what us,
the help,
are really thinking, we are going to share with you stories of the strange, shocking, and hilarious, because laughing is the only way we know how to make it through.
That's absolutely true. This industry is one that we've come to truly love, and although you'll hear rants and horror stories that we bitch that we have to work at work, well, we kid because we care. I mean, let's face it, we're terrible. We're all terrible.
Every one of us.
The customers are terrible. Sometimes we're terrible to each other. It is what it is. There's nothing that we would rather be doing, though, except
possibly this podcast, definitely.
Correctamundo.
Also, do us a favor, if we're not for you, listen anyway.
Hate listen, rage listen, binge listen,
push play,
and walk away.
Heckle us, because we know that the only thing that's better than a good horror movie is a terrible horror movie. Let us do that for you. One last disclaimer, the show, like the industries we cover, comes with some spicy fucking language.
Ay, muy caliente.
You have officially been forewarned.
Fuego.
Do us the honor, if you don't mind, of sharing, rating, and reviewing this show. Share it with everybody you come in contact with, and then leave us a 5-star rating and review with any type of words that say any type of thing.
Yes, predictive text. Press that predictive text button 5 times. Bop, 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 bop. Get it done. We don't care what it says. We just need words. They help us up the charts, and we don't know why, but 5 stars if you can do stars.
Yes.
Get it on there.
You can do the Facebooks as well. It doesn't help us move up the charts, but it helps us with a Facebook algorithm thing. So
Yeah. Help us to get known, one of those things. Also, you can look at our TikTok. That's at Service Entrance PPL. You can see our stupid faces.
And our Shifties of the Week, which we'll get into in a moment. If you want to be a part of the show, you can be a producer by going to patreon.com/serviceentrancepeople. Sign up to be a Karen, a Florida Man, or a Von Uppity. At any level of sponsorship, you get free merchandise, access to bonus content, and you get your name said at the very end if you are an executive producer.
You can also contribute just a little bit if you only want to do a one-time donation. You don't want to do the full commitment. Go to PayPal at Service Entrance Peeps and be a peep for us.
$1, $1 million, they help as we try to, we're seeing season 2 of this show coming up on the horizon. So we're trying to improve year over year, so you guys can be a big part of that. You can also become a content producer.
Doesn't cost you anything but your stories.
Super easy. Just go to serviceentrancepeople@gmail.com. Tippy tap, typey type. Tell us what craziness you have been privy to. And if you do that enough times, you do become a content producer. You can also, Pixie.
Yes.
Leave us a voicemail. 854-345-7721. If the written word isn't your bag, you can just vent it all out into our voice mailbox.
If you want to message us, you can message us on Facebook at Service Entrance People Podcast, or you can DM us at Instagram at Service Entrance People Pod.
Girl, who's all up in your DM?
Hopefully people who love this podcast.
I hope so too. You can do the DM on Facebook too, correct?
That's
Don't we
instant
have a messenger?
It's a messenger.
Okay, but it's sort of the same thing, right?
I mean, yeah, it's a PM, it's a DM, it's a
AM, PM.
Do your BM in the PM. I don't know. She does her BM in the PM.
All right, Lynn. Okie doke. Do we have anything else to say about that?
No, that being said.
So that being said, let's lock the doors, crank up the tunes, and grab our
Shifty of the Week.
I myself this week will be drinking from our very, very good friends at Shell Ring Ale Works in Port Royal, South Carolina, a Nautical Light 98. It is a ultra session ale, crisp, citrus, and very, very crushable at only 3.8 ABV. It's a light beer for the summer season.
Oh, that's a good crack.
Thank you. The summer season, he says, in September, by the way. It's still summer season down here. Delightful as always from our friends at Shell Ring. And it is. It's crisp, and there is just a little bit of a hint of citrus to it, but it's not overpowering. It's not like one of your super duper, duper pooper scoopers. What are you drinking, Pix?
I'm going to go the opposite end. I'm going from Gizmo Brewworks. This is a Queen Bee bourbon barrel aged imperial wheat.
Holy fuck, that's a lot.
At 9.6 ABV.
Well, see you later, Pix.
Let's see how it tastes. Oh, wow. It's really it's rich, and it's got a good honey to it, but it's not sweet.
Okay.
It's just you can almost get that bourbon taste to it.
Love it.
It's it's beautiful amber color. It's really, really nice.
Yay for Gizmo.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
And that's right out of Raleigh, by the way.
Raleigh's a very underrated city.
It is. It's pretty awesome there.
It is.
I enjoy it.
Also pretty awesome, episode 49 of Service Entrance People.
Oh.
We are at 49, Pix.
I'm on the edge of my seat waiting to hear what you called it.
This week's episode is entitled Hot Restaurant Gossips.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You gossipy bitches.
You gossipy, petty Betty bitches.
Oh, I love it.
So one of the pillars, one of the founding principles of restaurant work is the fact that everyone who works at a restaurant is ostensibly just a junior high person who is able to legally drink. That's it. That's everybody in restaurants somehow. It doesn't matter who you are. You're a dignified older lady. You're a suave gentleman. You're whatever. The second you hit the doors of a restaurant, you immediately become a gossipy bitch.
And a smut peddler.
It's shocking. It is shocking. This week, we are just going to do some hot restaurant gossip. That's it.
That's fantastic.
It's super simple. It's kind of how one of the reasons we started doing the show is because anybody that works at restaurants, and I'm sure this is true with other vocations, but especially with restaurants, if you get restaurant people in this who are in the same town, if you get them together, oh, you work over at restaurant A, I work at restaurant B. First thing.
Start talking about all the people you work with and the crazy shit.
And the crazy gossipy bullshit that comes with it.
But we're not limited just to restaurants. I want you all to know. I want to know what's happening in your industry. Does, a tailor, I work at, tailor shop A, you work at sewing shop B, and, I hate Becky over there because she's a bitch. I want to know these things. I want to know.
Lowe's, Home Depot?
Yeah. Do you guys duke it out? Like, are you like, oh, Lowe's is so much better than Home Depot? Or do you just not care and you're like, if I quit Lowe's, I'm totally going to Home Depot?
You know what I kind of wonder about is the airline.
Oh.
Like if you work at an airport, because there's all of the different airlines there and stuff like that. Like, do you like, oh, I used to work for Southwest. I used to work for United.
Yeah.
Captain Fucky McDick over there. Like,
so the captain from this was stooping the
the steward
attendants from that. Yeah, I want to know those things.
Exactamundo.
So if you guys talk about that, just
Please let us know.
Spill the tea, write it in, because we want to hear it.
It's what keeps us alive, people.
Yeah, exactly. So start your hot goss. Spill that tea, Boom.
Oh, I will, Pix. Oh, I will. I have worked at, a number of restaurants in this area, so I have had a lot of folks who have been employees of mine as a managerial type figure. One of the things that I love is seeing former employees, especially, the good ones, come to my new restaurants and, dine and catch up and see them. It's always kind of nice.
They tell you they miss you. They love you.
Even if it's not true, I always tell them the deal is you lie about that and I'll believe it.
Also, where are you working now?
Yeah, what's going on? Is it still there? Are you this? Are you that? So it's always fun seeing former employees. And the other day, I had a former employee of mine who I absolutely adore. Great, hardworking dude. Fucking awesome. He came to my restaurant with 3 friends. And it was very funny because you actually were up at the host stand there. And I was like, oh, my God. Did you see my former employee over there?
I totally saw him.
And you were like,
seen him.
You're like, yeah, but, I'm sure he doesn't give a shit that you're here. Because I was like, should I go over? And you're like, nah, he doesn't care.
Well, because I don't know, man. There's times where I don't know. I'm like, I'm just going out to eat. Like, I didn't really want to chat.
But
I'm a little, anxiety riddled antisocial butterfly.
Yeah. Sometimes you can be. Sometimes you can't be, but sometimes you can be.
An antisocial fly.
So I'm like, okay, yeah, fine. I'll leave him be, let him do his thing. Well, he came up to me. He actually got up from the table, saw me, came over, gave me some love. Hey, man, it's been a long time since I've seen you. How are you? I have a friend who has never eaten here before. And so I was like, oh, my God, my old boss, Boomer, works there. So let's go see, let's go there.
So he knew you worked there, and that's why he went.
Yes, exactly.
See, now that's a little different. How am I supposed to know that?
It was like the second time he's been there since I worked there.
Okay.
But like the first time was like over a year ago.
Right on.
So I'm like, yeah, man, fucking awesome. So we catch up, and he goes back to the table, and it's him, a lady, another lady, and another gentleman.
So
okay, 4 people, 2 men, 2 women.
You and him catch up, and then he goes and meets the fries.
Yep. He asked about Tom Waits.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He's like, how's
the
that?
cat intern?
Yeah, how's the cat interns? So I showed him pictures of Tom and Omar and all that fun stuff. So I call their server over, and I'm like, hey, if they wind up, because I saw they had some beers.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, if they wind up ordering food and all of that stuff, let me know. And at the end, like, I want to buy him a beer.
Oh, that's sweet of you.
And since everybody at the table had beers, it's a tricky needle
to thread.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if they split checks, like I'll buy his beer.
Yeah.
If they don't, I'll buy it for the table.
Yeah.
Because I can't.
Yeah.
It's whatever. It's unseemly just to only do the one if you're doing a full.
Not really. He's your friend, but yeah.
So they eat. They have a nice time. They're about to be finished. The server calls me over and he's like, oh, they split checks. So
cool.
I'm like, all right, cool, man.
Yeah.
So, I thought 1, 2 checks, like how many did they split? So it was split 2 ways. So
easy peasy.
Yep. I wind up taking off my former employee's beer and the person that he was with because that's 1 check. Do that, bop along my merry way because I'm a good guy and did a nice thing for a former employee.
Yeah.
Server comes back to me 2 minutes later and is like, so I thought that the woman was kidding, but the other woman at the table lost her mind and demanded that you take off the beers on both checks.
Did you know her?
No.
Okay, so you had nothing to do with her.
Never seen this woman in my life.
Did you make a big production about buying him a drink?
I didn't even go over to the table and say anything.
Oh, so she just
I think the server may have said, hey, Boomer bought your beer for you.
Yeah, but that's like from one dude to another.
Right.
Like, you 2 knew each other, clearly.
Exactly. Again, we have history with each other.
And I'm assuming the person at the table saw you 2 connect.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, he came over and got up and left and came talk to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what? Apparently, it was because 3 different people came and told me about this because the woman flat out, very loudly, said, I'm not fucking paying for these beers. You tell him to take them off.
Wow.
So
entitled.
aggressive. I'm not fucking paying for these drinks. you tell him to comp them all now.
I'm gonna go with fuck a you, ma'am. I
Now-
don't know you.
So I go over and I look at their checks, and they ordered that ticket
Yeah.
was 2 beers and a bowl of soup.
Okay.
So literally wants me to take the beers off so that it's like $10 total on their check. Which, whatever. But
Yeah.
the whole fact
It's
of the matter is,
principle
I
of the
don't
thing.
know you. I've
Yeah.
never seen you before. I'm getting a beer for, again, a former employee.
Yeah.
Why?
Did you
Why?
work the line for me? No, you
No.
didn't. Did
Have
you
been a
work
server
cold
for me?
station?
No, you have not. I have no idea at all who this woman is.
We have not been through the weeds together. I owe you nothing,
Nothing.
madam.
Nothing.
You stole fizzy lifting drink. You get nothing.
Good day.
Good day, madam.
So she again got loud and aggressive to the server. So I'm like, fuck. So I take it off because I don't want the conflict. It's not worth it.
Oy. That sucks.
Well, the funny thing is, and this is why this former employee, one of the reasons why I'm saying he's a stand-up guy, he's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
After all of the commotion,
Mm-hmm.
with the friend going off and getting all pissed off at my server and causing a little bit of a scene, my ex-employee then, on the sly, gives his server
Mm-hmm.
like an extra $30
Oh, wow.
as a, dude, I'm so sorry about all of this, and basically kind of not just tipping, but
I'm
know,
embarrassed for the person I'm with.
yeah, and here's this more than covers what they would have paid for their drinks plus their tip,
Damn.
which is super stand up and super fucking cool.
But also, like,
But also, how embarrassed you have to be
that you're paying
to go
for your friend.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that nice gesture that you did just cost him
Became-
more money.
Right. And became all of a sudden me being somehow a dick.
Oh, I hate when that happens. That's like,
yeah.
you can't be nice to people and let them know you're being nice. You have to keep it on the DL.
Yeah. I can't win for losing on that one.
It's so strange how that works out.
Yeah. So that was one for the record books, because I've never, ever had something as brazen as I'm buying a buddy a drink and then people with them lose their mind, demanding drinks of their own just for existing.
That's like you going to a bar with this guy and you saying, man, I love you. I'm going to buy you a beer. And then a woman just turns from behind him and is like, me too. You
Yeah.
owe me a beer too.
Yeah, it's
Like, no, I don't know you.
no fucking clue, man.
I don't got to buy you shit.
Hey guys, it's Boomer.
And Pixie, hola.
We are here and so excited to be brand ambassadors for Reaper Apparel Company. We could not be more proud to have joined their roster and get to promote their brand and whole community.
Just like we have battled anxiety and depression, so have the folks at Reaper Apparel Company, and they know the present is not something to be wasted.
Yeah, it's all about trying to be the best version of ourselves every day and making our dreams come true, like we are here at the Service Entrance People podcast, and the folks in Reaper are too. So please join the Reaper community, check them out, go to reaperapparelcode.com, use the coupon code Service Entrance People to get 10% off your gear, plus check the links in the episode description, our Facebook and Instagram to get 15% off as well.
That's reaperapparelco.com, promo code Service Entrance People. I have a little bit of gossip for you.
Goss.
Okay, I'm going to spill the tea here.
Woo.
So I'm talking to my hostess, my sweet little hummingbird that she be, and basically, all right, I hear that there was an altercation, right? I get into work and immediately I'm told like, so
Like fisticuffs or?
no, and it was just, verbal assault, but she is like 5'0", and
If that.
the 3 servers that verbally assaulted her are like,
All over 6 foot.
yes, they're towering men.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, the managerial thing to do, I ask for her side of the story first, and she tells me. I get her side of the story, then I go inside, and I get the men's story, right?
Yep.
I get the server story, I ask them what happened, and then
3
together,
versions.
yeah, I get to merge all of the stories and make my natural assessment.
What one
So-
said, what the second said, what actually happened.
Yeah, that in-betweener of, and what was pissing each one off, so that way you knew which part of the story sort of tips.
Where it starts to go wonky.
So the actual story is this. The hostess was taking a call from a customer as a couple of customers are proceeding to move into the building. Now, doing that, I would have preferred that she put the phone down or told the person on the phone to wait a moment as she greeted the people coming in. However, she didn't think to do that. What she thought was to answer the call because the person on the phone couldn't see her. So she prioritized the person on the phone.
No.
And I can see what she was thinking with that, but that's not how I would have.
No, if
Yeah.
you're on the phone, and people walk up.
Yeah, you need to.
You do the whole hold up the finger.
Or gesture dramatically,
yeah,
wave your hand.
Do the whole mouth thing,
Yes.
or say, hold on a second to the people on the phone. Folks, I will be right with you.
Yes.
And then go back to the phone. Or put the phone on hold.
Exactly.
So many different options other than the one she took.
Yeah, so that was, the issue there, and I understand that. What she proceeds to tell me, though, was a little bit damning, which is that I talk with my hands a lot. So as I'm listening to the story of the person on the phone, and they're asking me about this all-you-can-eat thing, and they're asking me times, and I gesture no, but what she did was no with that, slicing sort of off with their head motion.
Yeah, like the 86.
Off the, line, hand palm, straight
Right.
across the
Yeah,
throat
yeah.
there. Well, the customers who were walking in thought that she gestured to them.
Ooh.
So
Yeah, that would be...
they still walked in, though, and they sat at the bar, which...
Well, fuck that lady.
Which normally when people pass you up at the host stand, it's usually to sit at the bar, or they do I saw the sign inside and I realized I had to come back out because I'm stupid and I didn't realize that you standing there means that you're handing out menus, which you're like, I'm in uniform and I have a ton of menus in front of me, but sure.
Yeah,
okay.
so the way, real quick,
Yeah.
that things are situated is that there's a host stand outside of the restaurant with double doors going in. Double doors are closed because air conditioning.
Yes.
So there is a physical human being standing outside at a lectern stand
Yes.
podium that is very clearly full of menus and
yes.
accoutrements of the job.
Yes. And instead, people still wander in or through other doors, and then they're lost, and it's a whole big to do. Regardless, these people sit at the bar. Now, the host is still standing up there, again, assuming these people went to the bar, which they did. She wasn't incorrect. And the server comes out and immediately starts grabbing things from the host stand, which I gotta tell you, there's nothing that pissed a host off quite as much as someone being grabby with their tools.
Oh, yeah. Just coming,
So
snagging the old menu and walking away.
what my little hummingbird says is not wrong. She's like, look, man, I don't go to a table when you're taking too long and just start taking orders from a customer and putting them in the POS and snagging your tip.
No.
So what are you doing?
Respect,
Yes.
please.
Now, here's where the servers come in. The servers say to my little hummingbird that the customers complained about her. There was a complaint that she gestured to them, that she wasn't going to help them, and they were going to seat them. Now, I know me a server, and I know me a server doesn't like somebody who's going to the bar rather than sitting at a table because that tip's going to the bartender and not to the server. Exactly, because the bartender's going to get a tip either way because they get to tip out the drinks. So, ipso facto, what happened here was the servers were like, oh, no. If you want a table, we'll get you a table, sir and madam.
I'll go put you in my section.
Yes, we are so sorry about our rude little hostess. Oh, she's just the worst. I'm so sorry. Here, I'll quickly go get you some menus. Now, here's where they're both wrong. When the hostess finds this out, she wants to do the right thing, right? She stands up. She wants to do the right thing. She wants to go and apologize to the couple and correct her mistake by saying, I'm so sorry you thought I was gesturing at you. I would have gotten you a table. That was my mistake.
My bad, bro.
Yeah, and owned it. Instead, the three servers tell her, No, you can't do that aggressively.
So, okay, you don't have the authority to say that, first of all.
Yeah, no, you don't.
And second of all, the exact thing you always want
Is for
if
someone
there's
to
a
own their mistake.
miscommunication, to
Yeah.
own your mistake and to convey that to the guest so the guest isn't sitting there pissed off.
Well, the servers don't want that, see?
But the servers when if you sit a guest that's pissy to start,
Yes.
then the server has uphill sledding to work with those people. You want those people to be happy.
But here's the more telling end of this, which is that they don't want her to correct her mistake because they've already commiserated over what an idiot
bitch.
she is.
Oh my God.
And had some form of solidarity then with the customer. So no, she has to be incorrect and
She's gotta
remain
be wrong.
incorrect. So that way these servers have just a glowing review out their fucking asshole. So all of that goes on. I don't want to say being female. I just want to say being a person who is small and who maybe has a surplus of emotion. When I get really frustrated and angry. Now, I'm not sad. I'm just frustrated and angry.
You leak.
I start to tear up, yes. And what does my hummingbird do? But she starts to
Leaks.
leak as well.
Yeah.
Because she's so mad, she's reaching a point where she can't talk. That's how angry she is. And it's not one person, it's not two people, it's three people shouting at her that she is incorrect. So when she starts to cry, well, then it's, now the girl is crying.
Weakness.
Yes, weakness. Now we must feast upon it. And she tries to separate herself. And what happens from there? But individually, the men feel bad. Now we want to go tell her, it's okay. We just can't have you talking to the customer. Well, now she is pissed. So now she's like, no, you don't talk to me. You go away. You get away from me. Shouting at them. You can't come up to me. No, don't touch my back. No, don't try and tell me it's okay because it's not okay. And it wasn't. But this is one of those communication breakdowns where it's like, y'all could have had it easy if you had just let her own it.
Yeah.
Own the mistake. But instead you had to
look like you're better and
yeah,
again, like
you had to spill that gossip about somebody else to make yourself look good. So of course you can't have her go and write it because then it just makes you look like a dipshit.
yeah, you got to leave that wrong unrighted.
Yeah.
Jesus. Funny because this same person,
Yes. Which same person?
the host,
Okay. The little hummingbird.
told me a story.
Mm-hmm.
So this host tells me a story about how she was in Savannah,
Okay.
Georgia,
Oh.
with babysitting a kid for a friend, and so took the kid to the park.
Okay.
Right. Now, Savannah has gotten dangerous
Is it
over
a
the
little
years.
rough over there?
Yeah. I lived there like a while, like over a decade ago, and it was super, super like mellow, chill, cool city. But now it's like super, super dangerous.
Don't go there after dark
Right.
type thing.
So she's in the park with this child babysitting, and it's like 8:00 at night.
That's dark.
No, summer.
No?
It's summer.
Okay,
it's
so it's
still
still-
an hour away from.
It's dusky.
No,
No?
it hasn't. The sun has not started
Jesus.
going down yet.
In North Carolina, it starts to get dusky around 8.
Yeah, no, it
Okay.
was still. So I'm, maybe 6 feet away from her. She's telling me this. She said, so I was taking this kid that I was babysitting. We were in the park, and then there was a shooting.
In broad daylight now.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And she's like, yeah, it was one of the bullets. Like there was a guy walking, I guess, next to her or near her, and he got shot in like the leg.
Oh my God.
And it was me to her away.
Sweet baby Jesus.
And then like people went to their cars to go get other guns to return fire.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I thought like to
No.
retreat. No,
No.
they go to get other
Right,
guns.
exactly.
Because that makes the situation way
Right.
more safe.
So
I love it.
a couple of things with it. One,
Tell me she pulled out a piece.
no, I wish. So first I'm like, did you like get on the ground immediately?
Yeah,
Like, did you
cover
hide
the
the
kid.
child?
Yeah.
And she was like, I just kind of froze for a second because holy hell.
There were gunshots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as she's telling me the details about the shooting, I see something in her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
as she's telling it, there's a glinting in her eyes.
Was she fucking with you?
No. And I go, hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting excited telling this story?
Yeah.
And her cheeks go full red and she starts blushing. And I'm like, I get that it's probably because you're a few days removed from this incident.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was okay that you were with. But you're getting the tingly feeling in your nethers over this story.
Oh my gosh.
Aren't you? And again, super blushy.
As a boss, you're not supposed to talk about the nethers.
Well, I wasn't gross about it.
No, but also
that's how I'm translating it for the show.
Restaurants, I get it. No, we're all dirt merchants.
But I was like, are you getting turned on? Like you have a look in your eye.
So what was her response?
Giggle, 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 red face.
Totes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 100%.
I'm super into the fact that I was almost shot
And
at.
I'm like, wow. Okay, so
I was shot near. Yeah.
Note to self, violence is your kink. Weird.
Wow. I would just be scared.
Yeah.
But I gotta say.
So I was then like,
Yeah.
well, why'd you take the kid to the park and do all of this? And she said, well, it wasn't even dark yet. It was 8 o'clock. I figured nothing bad would happen. To which I was like, yeah, but 8 o'clock's actually a really reasonable time for a shooting. Okay. It's after dinner, so you're full. Now, it's not late at night, so you're not drunk or too sleepy.
Yeah, but when
there's
you're drunk,
daylight.
there's like that's
There's
the time
daylight
for
out.
shooting.
It's
No.
a pretty sweet spot.
You're
for,
thinking of
you know?
logic being the prime shooting time. I don't think logic really factors into prime shootings.
No, I just think
But I could be
that would be if it's me, that's a reasonable hour for a shooting to occur.
Little mini personal one.
Uh-huh.
I was held at gunpoint, or at least I think anyway, because I wasn't allowed to see the gun in
And be more, yeah.
Yeah, in Baltimore when I was working at a tattoo parlor. And I gotta say, I was scared, but most of it was really just confusion over his instructions. Because I was told to give over my wallet, which I didn't have. I had a day planner. So I was like, I don't have a wallet. I have a day planner. And he was like, well, hand me that. And I'm like, how do I hand it to him? Because I can't see him because he's behind me. And as I go to turn around, he says, don't turn around. Then he's telling me to get down. And I'm like, on the ground or on my car, and then count to 100. And I was like, out loud. There's so many instructions, and
You're
I'm like,
so lucky you didn't get shot.
but I don't want to die. So like, it wasn't like I was joking with him.
Be more clear, Mr. Robber, sir.
Yeah, like I was genuinely frantic. I'm like, dude, like have your specific set of instructions out because I would like to not die here. But long story short, I didn't die, and he didn't get that much money because I canceled all my cards and I didn't keep cash on me. So
next time, sir, just for expediency's sake, maybe you want to write up your instructions and just hand them.
Just hand them.
That may help.
Or rob from the front and not the back.
Well,
but,
no, facial thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just be more clear in your directions, man.
My only coming out of that is just don't be in Baltimore after dark or after 1 a.m. because it's dangerous.
Or before 1 a.m.
I have a story that only could happen in the restaurant world, though.
And it's hot gossy.
It is so hot gossy. So it's called Wild Chicken Aviation. And
so there's chickens that are flying through the air.
Yes, and just wildly. So an employee calls up, right? Talks to the manager. Let's call the manager Chris and says, Chris, I have this rash on my back from the restaurant. I have an allergy and I'm at the doctor to treat this allergic reaction. I can't come in.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
Chris,
icky.
Yeah, like Chris is like, so you're at the doctor, and this employee is like, yeah, I'm at the doctor like right now, dude. Like I can have you talk to the doctor. Chris immediately hangs up on the employee. But that's not where
Too much for me right now.
That's not where it gets weird. Chris gets another employee to call that employee. So let's call the other employee, I don't know, Lauren. She has Lauren. Yeah, she has Lauren call the first employee and be like, dude, you're super gonna get fired if you don't come in today. Chris told me to say this.
That's a restaurant thing. I'm not going to talk to you directly.
Yeah,
I'm going to go through a third party.
No, I'm not going to be an adult about it. I'm going to play a game of telephone and have Lauren tell you that I'm going to fire you.
Go get them to tell them that I need you to discount this for me.
So employee number 1 tells Lauren, that's super cool. You should abuse the power that Chris gave you about firing people and just start firing all the people you don't like. Because here's the thing. If Chris wants to fire me, then there's like a whole thing where I got to go in and sign a paper. So, yeah, Chris needs to actually contact me and do a whole thing.
You can't fire through third party.
You can't fire through third party text messaging.
No.
It's not a thing.
No.
So employee number 1 decides to do what? Go ahead. Take a guess.
So have a rash, doctor's note.
Yep.
Not come in and show up when the rash is better with the doctor's note and be like, fuck you, Chris.
Goes to Florida. Just decides.
Of course Florida comes into play. Of course.
Decides,
why wouldn't I have thought Florida would come into play?
Just decides naturally my next step from back rash and doctor's note is I'm going to take a trip to Florida and just, I need some me time.
Well, the doctor, you have a note from the doctor. And it's not like
Does
you're
it say
like,
go to Florida?
But it's not like you're sick. Like, you can still do things. It was like when I worked in radio and I had laryngitis. Like, I couldn't work, but I was fine.
Yeah. So this employee, this gets even wilder because the employee eventually goes back to this place of business after a year.
Jesus.
And
how long did it take for that to work its way through? Was she in Florida the whole year?
It wasn't the rash. That's not the point. The point is
just
the way
said, fuck it. I'm taking time.
Yeah, the way this happened was the employee just goes, like, shows up back at work and
like nothing happened.
Yeah, and they're like, cool, and they put her back on the schedule.
That's totally restaurant shit right there.
So when I'm hearing this story,
just pretend it didn't happen.
I'm like, so you basically took a year sabbatical from this chicken joint.
Jesus.
She's like, yeah, I just walked in there like nothing happened, and that was that. However, the fuckery continues because one day the employee goes in and she's wearing a mask and her manager says, why? ¿Por qué the mask? Mm-hmm. Why are you wearing this mask?
Why for?
And she says, well, I think I'm sick. So I just thought it would be safe if I was wearing a mask. And the manager's like, yeah, so here's the thing, food and bev, blah, blah, blah.
Was this during COVID times?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the manager was like, come into the office and just do this test real quick, just so we're in the clear. We're on the up and up. Well,
because nobody can be regular sick anymore. You have to. That's the first thing.
You have to do it. So she goes and she takes the test and it immediately turns, you have COVID.
Oh,
so
shit.
That manager's like, get the fuck out of the office, get the fuck out of the restaurant, get the fuck away from me, go. So she goes home and he tells her, you have to take like a week and a half at home. You have to stay home.
Yeah.
You can't,
Mando.
You can't
totally
come in.
Mando.
You can't come in. Well, Chris from before is still there.
Still being a shitty fucking manager?
So still is a shitty fucking manager. So she calls the girl and is like, why the fuck aren't you in work today? And she's like, because I took a COVID test and the other manager told me to go home.
Since I have COVID.
I have COVID, so yeah, I'm at home because COVID. And she's like, first off, those tests are fucking bullshit. And
okay, doctor.
Yeah, like, I don't even care that it was done in the office. It's fucking bullshit. But second of all, I think it's really convenient that you got COVID when you didn't want to come in the morning and now you're just off the next day.
Oh, yeah. The whole, I physically tested in front of somebody after I actually did come into work.
I didn't even want to test. She didn't even want to test for COVID, but the manager made her because that was policy. And yeah, all right. So this manager then is like, yeah, I don't care. Those tests aren't accurate. Don't give a shit. I'm only giving you 1 week off. You can't take 2. So the employee...
Don't care if you're still sick.
This employee...
Just keep coming in.
This employee's like, you know what? Fuck it. I quit. But when she quits, What happens?
She went to Florida.
No.
Fuck.
More restaurant gossip.
Oh, God.
So that manager gets so mad, she fires like 4 other fucking employees. And we don't know if it's because they got COVID or whatever.
Or just like, I'm pissed off that I couldn't have fired this
Yeah,
person because they
so-
quit, so fuck you.
And we were joking because I'm like, I wonder, did she fire them through Laura then?
Oh,
Did Laura go around and fire for her? Or did she like fire because,
Did she self-do or
I have no idea.
subcontracted out?
But I thought it was hilarious that this employee could, after a year of just disappearing, materialize in front of them
For
and
no
be
reason.
like,
Yep.
you can put me on the schedule. Like nothing happened.
It's ridiculous.
But only in our industry.
I've got some goss
Mm-hmm.
from Cody in Michigan.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
Content producer Cody.
Cody writes us and says the story takes place at a restaurant in Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's located near music venues. So on show nights, it would get super, super busy about an hour before the show and be in the weeds until the show started. One evening, Cody had a two-top come in right before it got busy, and they were waiting on a third party, right? Or a third person for the party.
Okay.
About 10 minutes later, half of her section had gone full up, and she had just been sat 2 more tables.
Damn.
The lady from the two-top calls her over. Let's call her Anne, says Cody,
Okay.
and says they're ready to order. Cody said something along the lines of, yeah, I can get those in. Will the person joining you be ordering?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, do you want me to put them in all at the same time or, whatever?
Shall we wait?
Yeah.
What have you?
Anne says yes, but she would like me to wait there to get the person's order since the person was just walking in at that moment.
Okay, so don't
So,
walk away.
Nope, you stand here and you just wait until this person comes in, takes a look at the menu, decides what they want, and then puts in their order.
That's easily like 10 minutes that Cody could be doing other things.
With a primarily full section, and she just
Yeah.
got sat with 2 other tables.
Dude, time is money.
Now, I had the section that is furthest away from the entrance, and it was a long, narrow building. I look up and see the lady from the table, waving to a little elderly woman who had just entered.
Oh, adorable.
In her head, she's trying to calculate then how long it's going to take the elderly woman to get to the table, how long it's going to take for her to look at the menu, all while trying to remember what she was doing when Anne first called her over.
Okay, so restaurant time
Yeah.
and restaurant people problems.
Yeah, she was doing restaurant math.
Yeah.
All the while nodding and smiling at her new tables, letting them know, I'll be there in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Cody explains to Anne that, I can come back in a few minutes. Like, give your friend time to get in, sit at the table, look at the menu, all
Decide
that
what they
stuff.
want to drink.
Yep. Anne was not having that. Huffed and puffed and waited until the person that she
Gestured.
was waiting for then sat down and said, oh, no, it's okay. You can come back in a few minutes.
You fucking bitch.
The friend joins them. They order. They got appetizers. Everything's fine. She was then pre-bussing. Go.
Cody for pre-bussing. We
Yeah.
love a pre-busser.
In order to make room on the table for entrees and reach for an empty plate. And Anne grabs it out of her hand, yells, I'm still using this.
Jesus.
So Cody lets her keep her beloved plate. She then made a big show about offering to pay for the whole meal for everybody,
Oh, guys, I'm buying it. It's
Guys,
on me.
I got it. It's
on
on.
me.
Yeah, I got it.
It's on
I
me.
got it. It's like the scene in American Psycho where they're all throwing down their gold card.
Yeah.
So she gives her card. Cody runs the card and then adds the name and whatever to the list of unsavory people.
Yeah.
And again, people don't realize
We
when you
keep
pay by
the-
card,
yeah.
we get to learn their names.
Yeah.
$100 bill,
Okay, so the tab, yeah.
$0 tip.
You stiffed on a hundy? What is wrong with you?
Nothing. Now, once Anne had walked out, the other person from the table
Yeah.
slipped Cody a 20.
Thank God.
Yeah. Just like my old employee had to do.
Jeez, man. It doesn't pay to, even be civil to these
No.
people because they're fucking animals.
Not even a little bit.
Dude, dogs are nicer.
Yeah, they really are. That's why
I shouldn't
we
even
get
say
so
people
excited,
are
yeah.
animals because animals are nicer than you are.
Yeah, they are.
You're
much,
awful.
much.
You're just awful. But also, so are we, I guess, because servers and hostesses and kitchens and bartenders and everybody alike. Yeah.
And none of this is even like touching in on some of the crazier.
Yeah, we're just scratching the surface.
Yeah, this is we'll have more of this.
We still have dermis to go.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We've seen like
we're gonna get to the subdermal layers.
Race riot at a kitchen.
Yes.
Type of stuff going
like
on.
brandishing knives apparently.
Yeah.
And just all kinds of shit. So tune in.
Stay tuned. Yeah. For now, though, that was episode 49 of Service Entrance People. Hot restaurant gossip.
Woo!
And we will get more for you in an upcoming episode. Want to say thank you very much to executive producers Chris Moore and Chuck Cumberland.
Thank you.
Both of those gentlemen went to patreon.com/serviceentrancepeople and became exec producers. But you can be a producer at any level on Patreon. You will get free merchandise. You will get access to bonus content. And if you are an executive, you get your name said at the very end of the episode. Thank you very much to our content producers,
Chef Hope, Jeff Teal, and Cody from Michigan.
Thank you very much, guys. If you want to be one of those type of people, all you need to do is just email us stories. Serviceentrancepeople@gmail.com is the easiest way to do that. You can also leave us a voicemail, 854-345-7721, or
you can hit us up on Facebook at Service Entrance People Podcast. You can DM us at Instagram at Service Entrance People Pod.
Girl, who all up in your DM?
Hopefully people who love this podcast.
I hope so too. If you want to help us out in a monetary way, but maybe don't want to do a full year's commitment, you can hit us on our PayPal, which is Service Entrance Peeps. $1, $1 million. It all helps us as we carry this show forward into our second year coming soon.
Yep. If you have a hearing impaired member of your family or a friend, don't forget to look up our YouTube channel, which is at Service Entrance People. We have all of it, subtitled there, so that can be super, super easy listening/reading for them.
Hell yeah. And our TikTok, Service Entrance PPL. Just for
watching us
fun,
be goofy
little stupid videos.
Yeah.
All right, Pix. Next week, episode 50.
We made it to 50.
We did, and we're closing in on the 1 year mark.
Woohoo.
Very, very soon. We got a bottle of bubbly on the ready, and in a couple weeks, it'll be going crazy.
Awesome.
Awesome indeed, Pixie.
Next week, midnight.
Wednesday.
East Coast time.
Yet another episode of Service Entrance People. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. I am Boomer.
And I'm Pixie. Adios.